Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Letty. I am your Earth Science teacher. You all should be in Regents Earth Science Honors. It's a pleasure to meet everyone. This is a presentation that I'm going to be giving in class to the students on Monday and posting online for our Section B students, who I will see on Thursday and Friday. Okay, so we're going to do just a quick introduction as to what to expect about the class, some of the class rules, some things like that. And there'll be other stuff that's going to be posted to Classroom and as an addition to this. All right, so first of all, again, this is Regents Earth Science. There is my email address if you need to reach me that way. There will also be a reminder. And you can reach out to me through Classroom, so there'll be plenty of ways for you to get in touch with me. Okay. Jump over to a quick picture of the Earth as taken from the International Space Station, so you can see the curvature of the Earth. Please, 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 if you are a flat earther, let's just kind of keep that opinion to ourselves, shall we? But as you can see from this picture, there's an absolute curve, and the Earth is indeed not flat. But you usually get one or two who decide to try and be funny and question it. Okay. Excuse me. So, about the class. All right, so you guys will be getting a full lecture period every day with a lab class every other day. That's when you're in school. Okay, when you're out of school, you will have a video posted of the lecture every day. Okay, and you will have whatever your class assignment is posted into Classroom. There will also be an assignment that's posted primarily just for attendance taking purposes. So if you are remote, you're going to log in. Well, everybody's going to do this assignment, but for the people who are remote, you log in, and it's usually a question or two, okay? And they're basic questions. You answer that question, okay, it's due 24 hours later, or actually we won't say a full 24 hours, a little less than that. It'll be due at 7:20 in the morning the following day. So for today, Monday, which I'm actually recording this on Sunday afternoon, but for Monday, I will post the assignment. You'll log in, you'll complete the assignment no later than 7:20 on Tuesday morning. Tuesday, I will go in, and then I will input the attendance for the people who are remote on Monday. Okay? So hopefully we get how that works. All right? If there are any questions, let me know. Okay? This is how I am basing my grades, and this is as of right now. The reason why I say that is central administration, basically the superintendent's office and the principals and things like that, are questioning how we're going to grade based on this new hybrid model, if we can grade the exact same way. So I'm going to assume we are and tell you this is how I grade, and if that changes, I will let you know immediately. Okay, so right now you have tests and quizzes that represent 60% of your average. Each test is worth 2 quizzes. Okay, you have labs, which are worth 20%, and you have homework, which is worth 20%. Okay, so that's basically how I'm going to be calculating and how each and every Earth Science teacher calculates their grades. Again, based on the fact that that might change, but if it does, we'll let you know as soon as we hear. Okay. So roughly once a week, once every week and a half, you'll have some sort of quiz. Because of our hybrid model, that quiz might be something that you do remotely, where you log in. We have a particular program that I like to use called Test Wizard that'll take me about a week to get you guys logged into. That is timed, so that once you log into it, the timer starts and you go through the questions and submit it, and you'll get your grade right then and there. Okay. It is not pausable, so when we are taking a quiz in that, you cannot pause it to look answers up. You cannot go to other websites. You just have to stay on the quiz and take the quiz. Okay? All right. 1 test per quarter. I will allow buybacks on. Okay? So if you fail a test, or it just happens to be your lowest test, even though it may be a passing grade, you will correct it, and we'll go over this many times, but the way you correct is you write out the question you got wrong, you tell me what the wrong answer was that you put down, you explain to me why it's wrong, and tell me what the correct answer is, and then I'll give you half the credit that you lost. Okay? So again, that's for your lowest test of the quarter, uh, and it's once per quarter. All right, your homework, 3 to 4 days a week sounds like a lot, but it's literally 10 to 15 minutes worth of work a day. Very rarely do I give homework that's going to exceed that, but it does happen occasionally. I try to avoid homework over the weekends, but that doesn't always work out. It depends on what unit we're in and where we happen to fall. So you may get some homework on the weekend from time to time, and I generally will look at project-based things over long vacations, as we do as a group, all of the earth science teachers together. Okay? All right. Now, this is information that is as of right this particular second, and I'm telling you, is probably going to change because of the way school is this year, and this is a state mandate. Okay, so at the end of the class, we have a Regents exam. I have not heard that it is being canceled like they did last year, so we're going to assume that it is happening, and we're going to proceed that way. Okay, so for you to be eligible to take the Regents, you need to have 1,200 lab minutes. That works out to be about 24 labs, give or take, depending on the labs I choose to assign. Some labs have bigger values, so it might be 22 labs, or it could be 30 labs. Okay, but usually around 24 is the average for you to make that. Okay, and I say as of right now, this will change for this year. What I am hearing is that they are actually going to lower that number because of the situation we're in and the fact that you guys can't touch and share equipment because of COVID. Okay, so it's going to be a lot more demonstration based and you guys collecting data based on what I'm doing up front in a classroom setting. So we'll have to watch that. Now, any lab that you score below an 85 on, you can correct. You'll correct it yourself. This says coming after school, but there is no after school for the foreseeable future. Okay, so you'll be doing it at home, or you can contact me and we'll work on it together. After school, we could do something on Zoom or Google Meets if you need that, so we can get through the lab. And whatever your grade was, I will give you an 85 on the correction. So there's no reason that anybody in the class should have a lab average that is below an 85. Okay? Okay, attendance. All right, this is just the school's attendance policy. You have 18 absences and then you lose eligibility. For a ninth grader, what does that mean? Well, if you play sports and sports are moved into the spring for this year, all 3 seasons will be starting technically in the winter and running through the spring. You would not be eligible to participate in one of those sports. Okay, if you became ineligible due to the attendance policy. Okay, now that being said, I do take certain things into account. We have new passageways that you're allowed to go through in the building in one direction compared to where it used to be in 2 directions, and certain staircases are up only or down only. So I'm reasonable about you getting to class on time. All right. So if that bell rings, I look out the door and I see you, down the hallway trying to get to class on time, I'm not going to mark you late. If 5 minutes goes by and I look outside and you're, walking with your friends and you're talking and you're slowly coming to class, then you're late. Okay, so I do take things into account, but we do have to work on making sure you're there on time because as of right now, the class periods are shortened compared to last year. So we have a little bit less time than we did in previous years. Okay, and if you are late, that counts as half an absence. If you're late 2 days in a row, then that equals 1 full absence. Okay. So extra help is going to be done remotely. And here's how it's going to work. So we have two groups in the class. We have an A group and a B group based on when you're coming into school. So because right now we're not allowed to stay after school, extra help will be for the group that is at home on that day. So for this week, for instance, we have A is in Monday through Wednesday. So Tuesday will be my extra help day, and that will be for the B group. All right. So there'll be a link on Classroom. For Zoom or Google Meets, I use them both, and I haven't really decided which one I happen to like better. So whichever one it happens to be, there'll be a link. And then you can log in from 2:10 to 2:40 on Tuesday. I will be taking questions and helping people from Group B out. On Thursday, because Group B will be in school, and then after school they'll be on the bus heading home, I'll be doing extra help for Group A. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that if you have a question, you have to wait a week until it's your turn for extra help. Okay? You can always post the question in Classroom. You can send me an email. You can send it via Remind. Okay? I am in my email all the time. So I'll be more than happy to answer your question. Just be cognizant of what time it is. If you're sending me something at 10:30 at night, I might not even be awake at that point, so I may not see it till the next morning. Okay, so by all means, send it whenever it comes into your mind, because I don't want you to lose the question. But let's just have some respect for the fact that sometimes when you guys are up, I may not be up. Okay, all right. So that's our odds and ends there. Cell phones. There are pockets that are going to be up front. You're going to put your phones in there. We're going to work out how to do that so we don't have a crowd up at the desk. So we'll take care of that when you're in class. All right. So that way you don't be tempted to get on your phone. All right. So we're going to just do that right away from the beginning, so everybody is not losing points for their cell phones. Okay. Cheating, you guys are honors, so I'm going to assume you're not going to cheat. Let's just say if you cheat, you're going to regret it, and we'll just move on. Okay, vocabulary. Your vocabulary is important in science, so you need to understand the terms. So each unit starts off with some vocabulary as your homework, and you will have a vocabulary quiz or test, and that is key. You must understand the terms that we are using in order to be successful in the class. Okay, I will take a moment to say this is not going to be like living environment that you guys just took. Living environment is very much memorization, right? So I present you the parts of the cell, and then you have to fill out a diagram labeling the parts of the cell. That is not what earth science is. In earth science, you're going to learn a concept, and you're going to have to apply that concept to solving different problems. Okay, so it's a different mindset than more memorization. All right, and the vocabulary is going to be key for that. Okay, so just some new stuff based on this hybrid model that we're all in. So this is new for everyone, including me. All right, so it's going to take some getting used to. And if you are noticing something, so you have a question about why I'm doing something a certain way, or you think you have a better idea, by all means, let me know. Okay, I am not against listening to you and taking your ideas. If it's going to make class life easier, let's do it. Okay, so I'm all ears for you guys if you have suggestions. Okay, masks. We must be wearing the mask at all times unless we have a mask break. Okay, or if I decide that for whatever reason we're going to learn better by going outside that day, and we're going to go out and just sit in the field or hang out over by the stands at the stadium, which we will do from time to time based on the weather. Okay, as long as we are all socially distant, meaning more than 6 feet, then that's a time when we don't have to wear a mask. Okay, so I will be giving mask breaks throughout the class. All right, if I give a mask break, nobody is allowed out of their seat and nobody is allowed to go to the bathroom at that point, so people can't walk around. So if I say, okay, for the next 5 minutes, we're going to be working on something on your Chromebooks, we are not allowed to talk because they don't want anything spreading, but it'll give us an opportunity to take the mask off and, breathe normally and not have this sweaty thing sitting on our face. Okay, so we'll work through that, and we'll do, as time goes on, we'll come up with our best practices for that. Okay, if you're feeling overwhelmed, and it's natural, it happens, or if you're under a lot of stress based on this model, and, because I'm going to tell you quite honestly, a lot of kids don't like being remote. They start off thinking it's a great idea, and then when it actually comes down to it, they don't like it. Okay? Come and talk to me. Let me know you're stressed. Let me know you're overwhelmed, and we'll see what we can do to alleviate it. I obviously won't be able to change the fact that we're in a hybrid model, but I can see what we can do to try and make your life a little easier. Okay, so I'm all ears for that as well. The door is always open, whether it's a metaphysical door, if you're remote or if you're in person. Okay. Every day I'm going to post a video of whatever the lesson was. So for starting, we'll say Tuesday, which will be the first real stuff we're going to do, Group B will log in and you'll be able to watch the lesson pre-recorded. Okay. What this means for you is if you are absent, okay, the lessons are all there. You still go back and you watch them. Okay, whether it was your day to be in class or out of class, it's all the same information. So you're responsible for that information. Okay, so that means when we have a test coming up, you can't come to me and say, oh, I was absent for that. I didn't. Nope, you have to watch it and you're responsible. Okay, that's part of being in high school and, acting like adults so I can treat you like adults and we don't have people, being treated like children. Okay, so that being said, what exactly is earth science and what are we going to be covering? Okay, so we learn about a lot of stuff. Okay, it's one of the bigger sciences. Technically, it's not earth science, it's earth and space sciences. So we cover a lot of astronomy. As a matter of fact, I am the astronomy teacher for the high school that is a senior class. So if you have questions about astronomy, by all means, that's one of my favorite topics. So we discuss that. We discuss the evolution of life in the universe, the evolution of stars and galaxies and things like that, black holes, whether aliens exist. We do a project on that. Okay. We talk a lot about weather and climate. All right. So you've probably already noticed in your short span of life that every year we seem to get the once in a decade, once in a lifetime storm event coming through. But if that happens every year, then it's not once in a lifetime because it's happening all the time now. So we'll talk a little bit about that, why storms have intensified, and preparedness and what we can do, things like that. We cover earthquakes. We cover volcanoes. We'll talk about global warming. We talk about rivers and lakes and oceans and all the hydrological stuff that has to do with the earth. We talk about geologic history, including the dinosaurs. Okay. You can see here we have gems and minerals. We'll spend not a lot of time. We'll spend a short amount of time that I will go through quickly because, quite honestly, that's my least favorite unit is the rocks and minerals unit. So I like to kind of go through that one as fast as we can because I could really only make the rocks sound so exciting. They're rocks. Okay, and behind my picture here is an earthquake landslide, so you can see that there. So after an earthquake, we've had some sort of landslide event next to a road and everything has collapsed. So we cover that type of thing that we call mass movement. And we cover a whole lot more. Okay, we will cover man's impact on the environment. We talk about the oceans and a little of oceanography. So, yeah, it's a very interesting course. We cover a lot. You will find that some topics you don't like, some topics you love, and that's normal. And either way, it should be a pretty exciting year. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be strange. It's going to take a lot of getting used to. But if we work together, I'm sure we'll have an enjoyable time, and we will take it from there. All right. So for the people remote, I will see you on Thursday. And for everybody else, I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.